Alrighty then, hello guys, today is Moses Peters and today we are going to learn the purpose for which we have to learn Caribbean studies. So let's begin. So we take a look here, right? So Caribbean studies is a mandatory subject, right? That you have to do. It's mandatory, right? And it is supposed and it has a purpose, right? And this purpose includes really making you a great citizen of T and T, Trinidad and Tobago. Right? That's the idea. That's why we have to learn about Caribbean studies. Because it will make you a better citizen. Because what's the sense of using all your other subjects like pure math and applied maths, right? And IT and bio and whatever it is. And first of all, you can't use it, right? You know, can't use it, right? Can't use it. And you can't apply it to your country, right? Because see, here's the thing. A lot of students who end up learning about these subjects tend to go away and never return, which is what we call brain drain, right? Brain drain. Because essentially, the people who are out to help the country are using their talents somewhere else. So instead of using it in Trinidad and Tobago, right? They are using it in like America or something, right? Stars and this flag, right? Rain, drain. So here's the deal. When I was trying to understand what Caribbean studies was about, well, this is what I've observed. And there are certain characteristics that are required for a citizen to help his country. So let's see a citizen right here. I'm gonna make him look good. Look at it, look at him, look at him. Oh, shucks. I am sorry, I apologize. I'm taking a bit too long on this. Alright, let's make a little gentleman. Oh, come on. Right, there we go. So we have our citizen. And considering we want this citizen to be a great citizen of TNT, and not a great citizen actually. Let's say a great individual, you know, of TNT, right? Let's make it less warlike, you know? Make it like a less forced to have to do this thing of TNT. What do they need? Well, first of all, what they need to understand is that they need to use the highest level of Bloom's taxonomy they need to create, right? So that's Bloom's taxonomy there. Taxonomy. Why? Why do they need to create? Because here's the thing, right? The reason why we want great individuals of TNT is so that TNT can be great. Because here's what a nation is built on their people. So with great people, there exists a great nation, right? So that's why we want a great individual And for a great individual, for an individual to become great and, great and affect his country in a very positive way, he needs to create, not sustain. Talk about create, right? We need them to create. We don't need them to sustain, right? And when I say that, is that, let's say, say like the oil right now, right? Oil is going away, right? Soon in the next many generations to come, we run out of oil. So people, we need to create better solutions than the one that we have right now. All we are doing right now is sustaining the oil economy, and as you can see, Trinidad is actually decreasing in its resources and worth, essentially, right? How celebrities would have like a worth value. Yeah, essentially they're losing their worth because all we're doing is sustaining. But great individual will be able to create. That's what they want them to do, right? Right. Next thing, right? Let's see. What's the next thing you need? So they need to understand their country. They need to understand TNT. And this is where I think is the main thing, right? TNT. Like there's something called relevance, right? Relevance. And relevance is one of those main things that we look in assessing what is called that way? Credible information. Like if you want to source secondary information, there are certain keys that you need to look for so that information would be valid and using for your research. And relevance is one of them. It have completeness, it have accuracy. But this one you have to have relevance. And the idea with relevance is that if you don't understand your country and how it was developed since the colonial times, and you choose to love other cultures and countries and things, right? You may not create an impact that is relevant for your country. Because your impact, right? Your impact is something else. If it's not relevant, your impact is somewhere else. Like, say, I don't know, some other country, like, say, America, Britain. Well, yeah, Britain. Right? And as such, it would not influence, right? It will have no influence in impacting TNT. So by understanding your country of Trinidad and Tobago, the way it works, right? So understanding will involve, right, its position, in the global earth, right? In Earth, right? It must be Earth, I don't know. Under Africa, everybody knows Africa. Position in Earth, its history, its culture. Because even if you're a Christian and you want to bring change, you don't understand the culture people have been living in and growing in. You can't just go on because because if you learn more about Christian studies, about how the colonials and them, brought Christ and whatever thing like that, they cannot bring a bad name for Christ, and how are you going to explain Jesus to the people, right? because they don't want to hear about that. Some people are hearing about it, which is great. They don't want to hear about that. So you have to understand the culture that we live in, the history that we came from, and the systems of production that we have developed now. Right? System production, right. So what next, right? So all that thing. So history thing, identity even, right? Where are we? Who are we in the Caribbean? Trinidad and Tobago, right? Or the Caribbean, in the Caribbean itself too, CC, Caribbean itself. I love my Trinidad and Tobago because I'm a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Now the next thing that a great citizen requires is obviously expertise, right? Expertise. Now, that expertise is more related to, this thing here. So, I don't have to talk about that much because I can't talk about it. You need obviously expertise. The next thing they need, right? Let me go see the arrows. Boop, boop. Look at that arrow. Right, what else would they need? Well, they would need to know, what would they need? Well, they'll need to know after any history and our culture that we developed, they have to learn the present situation. How do parliaments work, right? Parliaments. How does our economy works, right? Right? They have to know that, right? Because you obviously need to know the times, right? And knowing these times obviously come from understanding, our past and who we are in all of this. So, and that's what Caribbean Studies is for. Caribbean Studies is to help you get identity of who you are in terms of who you are, or who you are in the Caribbean. You can be anybody you want, right? Here, so you can be anybody you want, right? You can be an astronaut. You can be a person working from NASA, right? But it's trying to help you realize that you are in need. You are necessary, right? You are necessary. Well, I put an arrow here. You are necessary. I put an arrow here. Make a different color. This is very important. You are necessary for the growth. Necessary for the success of the Caribbean. The Caribbean. And I realized that a lot of the times, I say like, it had this parliament, right, that my friends and I went to, Form 6, where they acted as different roles in the parliament, right, Prime Minister, opposition leader, that kind of thing. And they all were debating against the motion of using AI tools inside the classroom and that kind of thing, and each of them had an opinion. But what Minister Gabsy Dolly was referring, summarized or concluded with, or remarked with, at the end of all of it is that we are going to be the next generation, and we can't leave it for the older folks to deal with, say, the crime of the country that's going on right now, which is quite sad to see, And if you look at the wars and stuff, right, we had to dot on the map, and we can be destroyed by just one Hiroshima bomb, right? Yeah, quite detrimental, right? And we need to be able to put ourselves high on the ladder, you know? Instead of being a third world or first world, although a first world generally be like a bigger country, right? But it is up to us to do that, whether it's possible or not. And that is something that I sometimes forget to realize. Like, what I should be striving for is to be a leader in my country, right? Like, you should be a leader, right? Necessary because not just be a great individual, I'm about right there, and be a great leader. Because who is going to be next leader? It's only you and me. My classmates in school, it's only them who can become the prime minister and whatever after. Or whoever in the next school, you know, Form 6, right? It's only them. Who else can the next one be, right? It can't just, I mean, it can be the older folks too, right? But, say like private sectors and them, you know, the establishments that all the systems of production, you know, like the economy and society and how things run, they are all now in the hands of us to control. And the older generation are very generous to give us even free information, because I saw like it's like we can get a free job to learn a free course and stuff like that. And the purpose of it is so that we can better our citizens in our country. That's the end goal. Like, we have a country that we are given, you know, we born given the country to rule and operate it in such a way that brings glory to our country's name. So anybody here trying to be good, they say, yeah, you know, it's a great, you know, they're happy, you know, like how, you know, how America is associated with freedom, you know, Trinidad is associated with not carnival, you don't want that, although we had already, but something that is spectacular, that makes us stand out from the rest. What we do have, you know, we have many poets and, you know, many other people who contribute to the arts, many people who contribute to the sciences too, as of which I'm not aware of. But it's up to us now to do that. So we can't just be here wanting to leave and brain drain our country, leaving it for a worse cause, it was states, right? Our state. You know, after they input all that value into us, you know, growing up from small to big, and now you just take all that money that was fed for your growth and go to the next country, because that country already did the work, and like what you have to do to make your country a better place, right? You want the end result, like not the end result in a sense, like it's still progressing through. I mean, each country progressing through, but each country at a higher level, right? So China and progressing at the higher level or higher standard people would like, or people would want, or educated people would want, so they will leave. But up to them to make the country into that higher level that they would like, instead of trying to sustain the level or help the masses, like, you know, like how I say, like Microsoft is like a big company compared to like some other small company, or like okay KFC, and like say when they were selling something, you just want to feed the KFC instead of helping out the neighbor to have a good business, you know. I mean, and obviously there's obvious reasons for that, you know, when it comes to like when it comes to like, you know, the after effect, like the comes to the what's it called again, man? When it comes to the the end result of the country, right? So when it comes to the end result of the country, like, you want, and the other thing about that, your neighbor place, and not really neighbor owned, but it's yours, because this is your country. So in a sense, it is actually your food restaurant, And what you're doing, you're a food restaurant, not successful. So you go to work for somebody, you have a bigger company that you know you might get a small work for, and live a mediocre life, perhaps. I mean, you might live a better life up there, but you wouldn't live, you might live a better life because that store might accompany you with enough, a good paycheck, probably a car to use, all that stuff, all that good stuff. But what about the fact that this business that you had, and especially that you were given, because it is a given business, not even when you came up with yourself, it's already there, in the works. Very complicated though, but in the works. And you don't want to throw that away. Now me, I don't know how that would work out on me. But all I'm just saying is that I think this is what I get out of learning Caribbean studies so far. Especially when I observe the aims. Okay, if you take a look at the aims, right? Alright, if you take a look at the aims, let me see the aims. The aims. I'm gonna open up Obsidian. And up on a show I really want to use. We'll just open it up. Yeah, so yeah, you want to do what they want, right? Look at the key aims, right? They want us to understand the Caribbean society and culture, learn of history, migration, diversity, shape the region and its diaspora, recognize global connection, explore how global trends influence the Caribbean and vice versa, analyze issues for development. You see, look, they wanted to compare and contrast the issues that occur when trying to develop the country, right? And identify challenges like inequality, climate change, and economics. And they want us to consider solutions. So that's like what we're evaluating, right? Evaluate some solutions, right? They want to research Caribbean topics, investigate and explain important issues to deepen understanding of the Caribbean. They want to reflect on personal relevance, right? See how the Caribbean history and culture influence your life and community. So I was saying, like, how do I pause this? I want to pause. Yes, sir. Here's a color. Okay, my bad. Anyways, so yeah, they want to do all those things, right? I don't even know if I want to, especially how it's moving with that ugly that they're discussing. Let's see something first techniques. I don't think I want any color actually. I mean, nice pointer and touch. How about that touch? It's gone now. No, not gone. No, no, no. Is that? Let it go. Why is it still here? Help. Text cursor. Yeah, pick up that. Right. So, and then they want us to research Caribbean topics, let's say, research Caribbean topics, investigate and explain important issues to deepen understand the Caribbean. Not only that, so that we can develop solutions, of course, reflect on personal relevance, tell the Caribbean's history and culture influence your life and community. Because they say if it wasn't for colonialism, I probably would have been African somewhere up there. I mean, not actually, because I probably wouldn't be born in the first place. But you might have learned the African culture or the Indian culture or something like that, and you want to reflect on it, even though it might not be it, I guess. And then respect cultural diversity, appreciate the region's rich blend of culture, identity, and traditions, although I'm not sure if that's, should do that, right? Good. Value justice, equality, treat others fairly, and challenge injustice in your community. Apply skills to life, use critical thinking to and problem solving to make better decisions in your own life, right? Okay, you see, they care about you. You see, they even for you. That one they even look for it for you when they go to do UE. They even ask you for it because it's for you. It's for you to use your skills you're learning, your pure maths, whatever, and make decisions that would help yourself and your nation. And they expect you to, have a clear sense of identity. I mean, I don't know what culture and history do my identity, but yes. Critical thinking skills, cultural appreciation, global awareness, problem solving abilities. And these problem solving abilities, unlike just maths, applies in the real world, right? I mean, maths applies in the real world, you know what I mean? It applies everywhere, to any subject, compared to maths, which is isolated, right? So research and communication skills, effectively investigate and explain Caribbean issues, just like in that debate they did for the Parliament. Fairness and justice, develop empathy and values that promote quality in the community, payments for the future. So use lessons from history and culture to navigate your personal life and career. So here's the thing, right? Well, not here's the thing, but that's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's what they want. They want you to do Caribbean studies so you can be happy. They want you to use Caribbean studies so you can be a great leader. You can solve problems, right? Leader, which includes solving problems, making creative decisions, important decisions, and helping out the community. All those positive things of which you can develop, or you want to develop, but you didn't realize that by learning this, you will develop it, in a sense, right? Because what happens that Caribbean studies is more, it is focused on relating you, right, as an individual, with the country. Because say in the USE, right, then you will learn something called probably US studies or something like that. America studies, where you learn your own heritage, your own independence, your own emancipation that you had, so that you now could use that culture that was developed in your country of the USA to make better and important decisions now, because you have a completely different knowledge of how things run. So if you're trying to go to the next country to do that kind of it could work if you're under somebody, but what great change could you make not having that historical roots that someone in America who have learned this history would have, I guess you can learn it yourself. That's on you, of course. Right now, since you're being forced to learn Caribbean studies, at least have the knowledge that will enable you to better enhance your country's conditions. Obviously, it's more than just learning the work, but the work will just help you to become more aware of the problems that are situated or have been developed due to the circumstances the country had gone through. So that is my explanation of using Bloom's taxonomy, evaluating going down the line to remembering a sentence. I mean, I cannot remember it, I guess, but I was able to evaluate why we need to learn Caribbean studies, analyze different features of, so for why, so the reason why, because we are a leader, they want to be a good leader, and analyze different aspects a leader must have in order to contribute to their country, right? It's obviously not everything. A country needs a lot of things, of which I didn't really went through, but that's not the main idea of this video, right? This video is just for me to explain to you why I think is the purpose for which we have to learn Caribbean studies. It's a very cool subject if you know why, of course. And sometimes some things will feel relevant, like definitions of the country, or the quadroon, and the Amerindians, and culture, because we all love to be like America and South Korea and like England instead of being fishing, you know. I mean, you have to copy those who did well already, right? In a sense. And there's some things you just don't like about your own culture. But the idea is, it involves a lot of that, right? So, I can't remember what I was talking about just now. So, anyway, so I hope you have a good day today. My alarm clock is saying, well, 12:50. So I have about 10 minutes left. I hope you have a great evening. And whatever your day might hold for yourself. Now I could have made notes that I could have read, because those notes are just for me to explain to you, so I might have to just go over this again. But I find in Bloom's taxonomy went kind of well, you know. I was able to effectively evaluate and analyze, probably not apply, because applying the information requires me to actually go out there. So that kind of application is more like create. On a one-to-one basis though, I could just probably apply it by, well, apply what I learned to learn Caribbean studies in a more positive way that would actually develop me as a person, rather than something that I just have to learn. It's more like a self-guide, like a self-help book, in a sense. Even though, like, completely not a self-help book, you know. But by using that Caribbean studies there, it would help me dramatically in my life, rather than just in a specific subject area or a job, you know, that kind of thing. So I can apply it like that. Then I understood why, you know, and then I can remember why too. I can remember why because I understood why. So I can remember some stuff in Caribbean studies probably more now. Which I could have go to that course lesson Sunday made, but you know, when I get the money, 2,800, you know. So you guys have a good day. And I should probably posting it on YouTube, but it doesn't really matter. I had to buy YouTube video today, right? Alright, take care.